When it's too cold to ride outside, I could sit here and look at her all day. Okay, check it, dude. All right, so I went to Daytona 2022. And it was awesome. I had a great time. It was like a dream come true, right? While we were staying at my buddy's house, he has a whole bunch of motorcycle magazines. And he had this particular issue of Cafe Racer, right? And there's an article in here by a Brian Eshrick, who claims that he is a physical therapist and a motorcycle rider. And then he has a whole bunch of, like exercises and things you can do pre-season, which I guess is getting ready for riding season, and post-season, which I guess is recovering from riding season. Anyway, right, when I started looking at this stuff, right, I couldn't believe that this guy even calls himself a physical therapist, because if you do these exercises that he's laid out over here, especially if you have some sort of back issues, you're going to get hurt. So I decided to go ahead and make a video that's going to talk about some of this stuff and how bad this is. And I'm going to talk also about some of the problems that I see that many motorcycle riders have, and then I'm going to go ahead and give you some alternative exercises that are beneficial to stabilize and strengthen your core, and these exercises are also safe. All right, so first let me give you a little background about myself. I've had personal trainer certifications with the National Academy of Sports Medicine and the American Council on Exercise. I have trained some people. I did start personal training, something that I ended up actually not liking, because I just don't like to hear people whine, right? I have a fitness YouTube channel called Blown Away Fitness. I haven't really been active on that, but I have a feeling that I'm gonna start being active, because now we're heading into spring, gotta start getting in shape for the summer. So anyway, I know what I'm talking about, and I also have a website, blownawayfitness.com, where you can read a little bit on my bio, because I got involved in fitness because I have a degenerative disc issue in my L4, L5, and it seems like fitness is the only way that I can deal with this crap, because if you have a degenerative disc condition, you know what I'm talking about. You are in pain every single day of your life. All right, so anyway, let's get to these exercises. I mean, one of the first things that he tells you to do is something that he calls a J curl, which looks like a deadlift, but oh my God, look at the way that he is arching his back. On top of that, he is telling you to do 5 sets of 20 reps. My friend, if you do this, you're going to damage your back big time. If you don't have back problems, you'll eventually inherit back problems by doing this exercise. So let me go ahead and explain to you a little bit about that. All right, so now what I want to show you are 2 issues that I see with motorcycle riders, right? So the first one, okay, now this is really pertaining more to people who ride cruisers, right? Because sport bikes, you have a different position, you're leaning more forward when you're on a sports bike. But with people who ride cruisers, especially people who ride for long distances, you obviously see a lot of arching of the lower back, which can place a lot of unhealthy stress in your lower back, right? Even if you have something like a backrest like this, I mean, these do help, but still, I think that the primary thing that you want to do to try to help this is to find exercises where you can strengthen and stabilize your core, right? Especially if you've got, when you kind of like put your feet up on the foot pegs to kind of just like, just cruise and relax, this type of thing just causes this arch, which can lead to lower back problems. And if you already have lower back problems, you probably feel pain after riding for quite some time. It all depends, right? The other problem that I see, right, especially again with people who put their feet up as they're cruising, on the foot pegs, and you're just kind of cruising, you see this internal rotation of the shoulders, right? This internal rotation of the shoulders, this is exaggerating, but it's kind of like, this, like this. Now, this internal rotation of the shoulders is actually very unhealthy for your shoulder capsule because it actually weakens it, and eventually, like, you could be raking leaves or picking something up. Next thing you know, you tear your rotator cuff. What we want to try to do is find exercises to eliminate this internal rotation posture and be more of a external rotation. As we get older, we get more like this, we get more like a hunchback type of a thing. So we want to try to find the exercises where we can kind of like correct that and also strengthen our shoulder capsule, because this is one area where people always get hurt, right? So anyway, I'm going to show you some exercises that'll help strengthen and stabilize your core and produce more external rotation in the shoulders as well. Now, I understand, right? There are some people that don't like to exercise, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm also going to show you some things that you can do that are not exercises that can help correct some of this stuff, all right? So let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, the first exercise, or the first set of exercises that I'm going to be showing you, is called the McGill Big 3. This was developed by back expert Dr. Stuart McGill. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on how to do these. I'm just going to give you a quick overview, but I'm going to leave a link in the description box below so that you can look and learn about these exercises in more detail, right? The McGill Big 3 are basically 3 core stabilizing exercises, right? The first one is going to be a curl up, and that's where you're going to lie down on your back, okay, knees bent, feet flat on the floor, and you're going to put your hands right, on your back over here to maintain that natural arc, right? In your spinal cord, right? So you're going to go from here, and then what you're going to do is you're basically just going to curl up. You're going to breathe, and then you're going to tense that core, and you're going to curl up. You don't have to go too far, okay? And you're going to hold it for 10 seconds, and then you're going to release, right? And you want to repeat that, and do several repetitions of that, right? The second exercise in the McGill Big 3, it has to do with stabilizing your obliques over here. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to do a side plank, all right? And now everything has to stay straight, right? So you're basically going to lift up here, and you're going to hold that for 10 seconds. Everything from your head down to your feet should be nice and straight. You're going to hold that for 10 seconds, and then you're going to switch to the other side, and you're going to come around and go like this, and you're going to hold that for 10 seconds, and you do several repetitions of that. Now, all of these exercises can be adapted so that you can perform them. For example, if you can't perform a straight side plank like this, you could do it on your knees, you could do it against a table, you could do it against a wall. Anybody should be able to do these exercises, and it will help to stabilize your core. The third exercise in the set, right, is like a cat dog, right? Is when you are on all fours, everything is straight again from your head down to your, bottom over here. All right, you shouldn't be like this, and you shouldn't be overarching your back or anything like that. But everything should be maintained straight. You're going to extend your right arm and your left leg, and you're going to hold that for 10 seconds, right? And then you're going to bring it down, and you're going to extend it again for 10 seconds. And you do several repetitions of that. If you want to build endurance, you don't hold it for more seconds. What you do is you do more reps. That is the key, right? So again, if you want more details about these exercises, then look at the links that I've left in the description box. Now, what are some of the exercises that we can do to correct that internal rotation of the shoulders? Obviously, the very first exercise, which is an excellent exercise, is face pulls, right? So if you have, like, let's say a pair of bands, you can even do this with suspension straps, right? So if you have suspension straps, like TRX straps, you can actually do those as well with those, right? But basically, if you have a pair of bands like this, you can just go ahead and from here, from an extended position, you just bring it back and tense, right? And then bring it back again and do about 12 to 15 repetitions, maybe about 2 to 3 sets of that to give you that external, more of an external rotation of the shoulders and better your posture. So you're basically what you're trying to do is you're actually trying to pull the bands, kind of like be more of a 90-degree angle overall, right? You don't want to do this, right? You want to try to expand as wide as you can. You don't need to expand like out to here, but just 90-degree angle here, 90-degree angle here, 90-degree angle here, right? And nice, and stick that chest out, and tense up those rear delts, and that's really going to help your shoulder, and it's really going to help strengthen and stabilize your shoulder and prevent some possible future injuries. Now, another set of exercises that you can do to help correct that internal rotation of your shoulders is called the IYT Raises, right? So basically it's kind of like how the name implies. You're going to be basically raising your arms. Now you can do this on the floor, on a bench, you can do it on an incline bench, and you can even use some really light weights for this, right? And you're basically going to be raising your arms as if you're doing an I, and then you're going to be doing a Y, and then you're going to be doing a T, right? So basically when you're doing the Y, your hands are going to probably be in this position here. No need to adjust anything. Just go with how your body moves naturally. You're going to just raise it up this way. When you do the Y, you're going to raise it up this way. And when you do the T, you're going to raise it up this way. So basically it's going to look like this. I think I'm going to run into the bike over here. So from this position here on the floor, okay, you're going to basically just raise it up, hold it, and then bring it down, and do about, I don't know, how many repetitions you want. I mean, I would suggest, I usually like to do 7 repetitions, right? So that's 21 repetitions in total when doing all 3 exercises. So you raise it up and you do an I, up, and then down. All right, up to 7, and then I'll go ahead and I'll move, and I'll do a Y raise. So from here up, and then down, and then up, and then down, and then obviously the T, right? And you're going to be like this, and you're going to bring it as high as you can, and then bring it back down. Okay, I'm running into this. Up, and then down, up, and then down, right? So those are IYT raises, and those definitely will help you correct, your posture, especially in the upper portion of your back. Now, let's just say you're just the type of person that just doesn't exercise. You're not going to exercise. You're just not going to. Anyway, here's something that you can do to try to correct that, internal rotation problem and cause a little bit more of a natural, a good straight posture, right? Just take a stability ball. Again, just wanted to kind of like demonstrate that you can do the IYT raises with a stability ball here, okay, like, IYT, okay, but also you could just go ahead and after a long ride, right, come home to your stability ball here, and then just lay back on it, right, lay back on it and relax. That's it. From all that riding that you're doing with that bad posture, just to be able to spend some time just kind of like straightening that out and trying to correct some of those problems here is just very simple, very easy to do. You can even take your arms and bring them out this way to kind of like help you stretch that out, and just let your arms fall wherever they want. And this is actually kind of relaxing, right? So you just kind of like just chill out over here and relax, and you're actually naturally kind of like already correcting that posture, and just spend a little time here, as long as you want, and as many times as you want. You're really not going to hurt anything over here by doing this. It's completely safe, and there's obviously some benefits to that as well. Now, we got to give credit where credit is due, right? Now, he does mention this one exercise that I think is great for stabilizing your core, and that's the Pallof Press. And here's the thing, but he doesn't show it in any of the pictures, and the description here is horrible. Anyway, but this is basically the Pallof Press. If you have some suspension, some elastic bands, you can also use cable pulley in the gym. Basically what you're doing is you're just stepping off and you're basically pulling this right in front of you with your arms extended about chest height. Now right here, this is where you keep everything nice and stiff, and you'll start to feel it right here in your obliques, right? And what you're gonna basically do is you're just gonna pull it, bring it into your chest, and you're gonna pull it, and then you're gonna push it out, right? So you're gonna bring it into your chest and extend it out. And that is gonna help stabilize your core, right? Then you turn around and you do the other side. But there are many variations to this exercise, and it's such a good exercise to help stabilize and strengthen your core. You can go in and out this way, or you can also bring it up, or you can bring it straight up. I mean, there's just so many variations that you can do with this. You can do a squat from here, okay, while you're doing, I mean, and so you know, that is a really good, really great exercise to help stabilize your core. Some of the other things that he shows here are just worthless for, you know, for stabilizing your core and to help correct some of these problems. With the exception of the seated row, you know, he goes ahead and talks about doing good mornings. This is a guaranteed way that you're going to kill your back, right? And then he's also talking about doing deep squats. That's a highly technical exercise. I mean, you have to know how to squat and use the proper body dynamics in order to benefit from this exercise. Otherwise, you're going to hurt yourself. Bent over barbell rows is just basically going to be putting way too much stress on your lower back. It's just not beneficial. Now, he also talks about you know, in season, doing some mobility on a stability ball by sitting on the stability ball and basically moving your pelvis, right, backwards and forwards and side to side. That's fine. You know, this is all good mobility exercises, but it's just not going to help strengthen your core, right? It's not going to actually be that beneficial to you if you've got nothing but weakness here. You could be as mobile as you want, but if you can't stabilize your core, you know, you could be facing problems down the road. All right, so anyway, listen, man, I hope that this was helpful. Leave some comments below, and I mean, if you found this stuff helpful, you want to learn about more stuff, then, you know, I'll help any way that I can. All right, see you at the next video.